What's up, world? It's me, Gary with the G. You already know, welcome back. I want to thank all the new subscribers. I see y'all keep subscribing. I appreciate it. 100. We're going to keep this thing moving. This one was brought to one of my homeboys and a couple people asking the same question. Can you carry a firearm in a state where marijuana is legal? That's a good question. That's a super good question, because you don't want to get caught up. So I'm going to put you on. But this is the disclaimer. Contact your lawyer. Do your own research. I'm just giving you information that I found. Don't take it as gold. Don't come back and say, well, he told me this. Nah, bro. Do your own research. Check it out. But I'm going to tell you what I found out on my own about the situation when it comes to these states now that are legalizing marijuana for recreational and medical purposes, and you know, your two-way rights. Okay, just so you know, I did some research. I went to criminal law and website, and I looked up the medical marijuana and federal laws, how they play with one another. So I'm going to read something off of this. The Supreme Clause and the 10th Amendment. The Supreme Clause of the United States Constitution establishes that federal law controls when state law and federal law conflict. All right? So if you commit a crime and in your state that crime may not be a crime that's going to be penalized, if federal jumps in, they can override state. Sort of like if you're in a domestic situation, and you know that significant other says, you know what, I don't want to press charges. The DA can now intervene and says, nah, we don't care what you say. We're going to take this over anyway, and we're going to prosecute based upon what we know. So with that said, federal has jurisdiction over a state when it comes to the marijuana laws. Now, a key note to know that back in 2013, under the Obama administration, they said that if state, when it comes to marijuana now, if state and federal laws conflict one another, that if the state has laws set in place that decriminalizes marijuana use, and this is legal use, not drug trafficking, or you know, on the legal side of it, like medical marijuana, that state will trump, you know, the federal laws. So federal wouldn't be able to try you. All right. However, in 2000, unless it's the key things in that was, unless it's like marijuana with distributing across lines, if it's dealing with gang activity, all the illegal uses when it comes to marijuana, you know, state would trump federal. But if it was any of those other, like, you know, violent crimes on the legal side, the black market side, then, you know, federal can trump state. Only they will protect the people only if it's under, you know, you're abiding by the law, in other words. All right. But in 2018, the Trump administration, they terminated that policy and announced that federal prosecutors can criminalize cases whenever state and federal laws collide. So now in 2018, they reversed that law basically and said, hey, the federal laws will trump state laws, even in a state where the state says, hey, your capably fine. We're not going to criminalize you if you are, utilizing medical marijuana. We look at it as you're getting a prescription from the pharmacy. You know what I mean? So once you're doing it right and you have your transcripts right, we won't criminalize you for medical, but you still got to obey the laws. You can't, utilize it and operate machinery or drive a vehicle, whatever the case may be, because then you could criminalize yourself again. But I found that interesting that they would do that. Why? I don't know. But anybody with any suggestions? Why would they do that? Why would they just turn that around? Why even get involved with that? Doesn't make sense. But teach his own. So again, now that I think there's 33 states, something like 33 states that either they either have medical marijuana or recreational. I think it's about 33 states that recognize it now and pretty much decriminalized marijuana. And then there's the other states that they don't know what they want to do yet, So in Arizona, and this year just passed that you can utilize marijuana for recreational purposes, like like if you're going to buy a cigarette out the store, you just want to buy a bone, you could go there and get you a little whatever and get your groove on, So they just passed that law. And actually, when you're driving by, like, it's a lot of dispensaries around. You're driving by and you think it's Black Friday with the lines that's around the corner with it. But let me get back, digress. Let me get back with this. So the point being is, state law is state law, federal law is federal law. When it comes to marijuana and firearms, there's that gray line there. But I just don't want you guys. I want you guys to understand and don't cross that line. So in Arizona, they have something called the Smart and Safe Arizona ballot that passed, which now we could utilize. When I say we, Arizonians can utilize marijuana recreationally. And just so you know, I want you guys to understand, when you utilize marijuana recreationally, you have to have ID. They do scan your ID, so they know when you're using it. So just keep that in mind. They know if you're using marijuana. They keep it's a database for it, in other words. All right. So it says it would be legal to possess both marijuana and guns because the persons would be lawfully in possession lawfully in possession of a control or controlled substances. However, because marijuana is still illegal on federal level, possession of a Schedule I controlled substance and firearms is still illegal. So what they're saying in Arizona, this is Arizona now, we're not going to bother you if you have firearms and marijuana, if you're possessing it, right? We're not going to bother you. But you know that on a federal law level, they consider that illegal. Marijuana is a controlled substance and it is illegal. So you can't be puffing and passing and in possession of a firearm on a federal level, right? Because not only is it illegal federally, but in 2018 they also passed that law that if those two, the state and federal, collide, federal trumps state in that instance. And if you notice now, anybody that has purchased a firearm recently on the new Form 4473s, that's the background check that you pretty much go through, the NICS background check anytime you purchase a firearm. That when you do that, now it actually has verbiage on there that's saying if you live in a state basically that it's legal for you to possess or own marijuana, that hey, it's a no-go with us. You can't be signing off saying that you're not a user or an abuser. So from the website of the ATF, it says of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives, states that any person who uses or is addicted to marijuana, so again, who uses or is addicted. So it's an or there. Who uses or is addicted to marijuana, regardless of whether his or her state has passed legislation authorizing marijuana use for medical purposes, is an unlawful user or addicted to a controlled substance and is prohibited, meaning you can't go there with them. It's you know what I mean? It's a no-go. It is prohibited by federal law from possessing firearms. And get this, not only firearms, you can't even possess ammunition. So it's not only for firearms, you can't even have a box of ammo on you if you're a user or addicted to an illegal substance. In this case, it's marijuana. So to keep the air clear, you do what you want to do. I'm just going to give you the facts. Me, I'd rather my firearm than anything anyway. You know what I mean? So I'd rather keep my firearm, but you do what you want to do. I'm just making it, understood out there that on a federal level, their eyes don't see it the same way the eyes of the state levels. For those that live in a state that have medical or recreational, or just decided to decriminalize marijuana use in the first place. So you make up your mind. I thought I'd share that jewel and give the facts out there, so people that's kind of not understanding how it really works would know now. If you own a firearm, you do not do drugs. In this case, marijuana. You know what I mean? Even if it's legal in your state, they don't look at it as being legal. So you tell me what you think. I want y'all to go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, man. And I've been getting a lot of comments, a lot of new subscribers. I really appreciate you guys out there for just joining the team and growing. We just growing on this channel, and as you can see behind me right now, I'm about to start making my own ammo, because man, they be on that country monkey shit out there with this ammo stuff, man. I'm seeing ammo too crazy now, so I decided, you know what? I had the machine already. You know what I mean? I just decided to take a little class, make sure I'm doing it right, because I ain't trying to hurt myself or anybody else out there. You know what I mean? So you're going to see me doing some of this for y'all. Just stay tuned, tune in, lock in the channel. It's me, Gary with the G. Check me on Click Bang 1 on Instagram, or Click Bang 1 on Facebook.